Santa María, Madre de Dios, cielo santificado sea tu nombre. Santa María, Madre de Dios.
Honor and respects, luz y progreso. This is Sancista Brujo Luis. So I'm going to show you a simple ritual that you can do on the night of the New Year's. And you have on the night of the New Year's until the Epiphany, which falls on January 6th. The Epiphany is believed to be the day the three Magi's visited the Christ child, bringing him gifts of frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Now, in the United States, I noticed that Christmas ends on the 25th. Now, for most Hispanic cultures, that's just the beginning of Christmas, the 25th, and then we have 12 days until January 6th. In Hispanic countries, in Puerto Rico, this is when the three Magi's, el Día de los Reyes Magos, and I'll put the name right up here, el Día de los Tres Reyes Magos, visit children. And children in Hispanic countries, what they do is they place under their bed a box of hay, or it could be a shoe box or a wooden box of hay, and a bowl of water for the camels to eat. Now, on Christmas, on the 25th of Christmas, they receive their toys, but on January 6th, the Epiphany, they receive either a brand new pair of shoes, they receive either an article of clothing. Girls receive a yellow dress, which will be used for Easter. Boys will either receive a nice white shirt or a yellow shirt, again used for Easter. And probably candy and whatever, and usually the three Magi, los tres Reyes Magos, the three Maguses, leave it under the bed, and when the children wake up, the hay is gone and the water's gone. So, a lot of people ask me, how would you bless your house for the New Year's? Well, you can do this on the night of the New Year, or all the way up to January 6th, which again is the day of the Epiphany. And all you generally need is chalk, ritual chalk. I'm going to use for this trabajo, for this little, work, cascarilla, okay, which you can pick up in any botanica. But if you don't have a botanica near you, you can use any ritual chalk or any chalk that you choose. I'm going to show you how I bless it. They should bless it, but I'm going to show you how, and it's very simple, very simple. And again, this should be done on the night of the New Year's, and you can do this the night of the New Year's until January 6th. A lot of people do it on January 5th or 6th, the night of the Epiphany or the day of the Epiphany, just to bring blessings and abundance for the coming year. Many people will ask, what is a good time to do this? A lot of people do it on a chime hour. A chime hour, there are generally two chime hours. There's 12 o'clock noon and 12 o'clock midnight. Okay, those are two chime hours of great energy. Other people also include within chime hours a sunrise, when the sun rises, and sunset. So around 6 o'clock in the morning, or around that area, 6 o'clock or so, when the sun is rising and when the sun is setting. So you can either do it around when the sun is rising, when the sun is setting, but a lot of people do it at 12 o'clock noon or 12 o'clock midnight. Those are chime hours. So this is a real simple ceremony, ritual, very basic. You can do this alone, or you can incorporate your family. Everyone can comment and bless and pray. Now remember, you are going to use chalk, so you're going to, dress the doorway with the chalk. Remember that this will, of course, the elements, rain or whatever, it's going to disappear. Don't worry about that. As long as you do this, it will be, the door will be blessed for the following year. Now you can do this vertically. You can do this horizontally. You can do this above the door. Most people do it above the door. Some people do it to the side of the door. Some people actually do it under the door, where people walk in, and then they place a carpet, a rug over it, just to protect it a little bit better. It's up to you. Now, what you're going to see is this is the simple sigil that I'm going to show you. Very simple sigil, and it is in honor of the three Magi's, the three Maguses that visited the Christ child on his birth date, which is attributed to January 6th. Now, the three Magi's were, some call them stargazers, astrologers, alchemists, maguses, wizards, maguses. There were three. Some say there were more, but the three that are known, there is Gaspar. Gaspar was from India. Then there was Melchior. Melchior was from Persia. And then we have Baltasar. And Baltasar was from Arabia. Gaspar, some people call him Caspar, either with a C, K, and then in Spanish it's with a G. Gaspar. Okay? They brought the infant child on his birthday frankincense, myrrh, and gold. So I'm going to show you the simple sigil. Again, you can do this alone. You can do this on a Chime Hour, or you can do this alone on a Chime Hour, or you can incorporate your family members with it. So I'm going to show you the basic, and it's very simple, the basic sigil that you're going to use over your door. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do it on on a piece of paper just so you can see it. And then tonight I'll do it outside. You can do this outside. You can do this inside in your door, above the door. So we're going to start with the number 20. Now 20 represents, of course, the year 2000s. If we were in the 1980s, 1990s, this would be a 19. But we are in 2018. We're going to 2019. So what you're going to put is 20, plain and simple. Then you're going to separate that with a cross. And then we're going to put I'm going to show you two different forms of sigils. We're going to put a G or a C or a K. G, because in Spanish we call him Gaspar, Gaspar of India. Then you're going to place a cross right here to separate that. Then you're going to put the letter M. M is for Melchior. Melchior was from Persia. Then you're going to place cross, then you're going to put a B. B was for Baltasar. Baltasar was from Arabia. Then you are going to place another cross, simple like that, and you're going to place the year that is coming up. We are heading into 2019, so I am going to place 19. I'm going to show you another one. Well, similar. Okay, G, because I'm using Gaspar in Spanish. If you are English or speak English, of course you would put 2. C or G, Gaspar or Caspar. M for Melchior. B for Baltasar. Now let's say you're watching this next year. Then we're going to put the number 20 instead of 19. Okay, but since this is for next year, but since we are heading into the 19th, we're going to put the 19th for this year. If you're watching this in the future, you're going to put 20. If the year is going to be 21, you're going to put 21 right here. This is one way of doing the sigil. I'm going to show you another way of doing this sigil. Another way of doing this sigil, now, if you don't want to include the year, you don't have to, then you would put a C. I'm going to do it right here. A C for Caspar or Gaspar. A cross. Okay. M for Melchior. And above the M, you're going to place a cross. And then you separate that over here, another cross. and you will put a B here for Baltasar. It's another way of doing this charm. This represents the three Maguses. When Jesus dies at the three crosses of Mount Calvary. So you could do it this way, or you can do it that way. And I'm going to show you another way, the last one that I know of. Okay, whichever you feel comfortable in doing, that's cool. I'm going to show you a third one. Another way of doing this sigil is very simple. It depends. Everyone does it different. I'll do it this way. Okay, so very uncomfortable. I can't even. Okay, there you go. So they start off with a cross. Okay, then they put 20 for 2000. Then they place a G or C, Casper or Gaspar. Then they place M for Melchior. Then they place B. Yeah, actually on top of the M, they place a cross. Then over here, they put B for Baltasar. Depends on how you want to do it. I want it to be a little blurry. Sorry about that. And we are entering into 2019. So I would put a 19. If you're watching this at 2020, then you would put a 20 here. And then you end it with a cross. I don't want it to be blurry. That's another way of doing it. And some people are very artistic, and I'm going to show you the original one that I did. Some people are very artistic when it comes to it. It depends. You can make this as simple as you want. Some people go more artistic. So, again, this is the last one that I'll do. Okay, so we're going to start with a 20. Real simple. They make a circle with a cross. And you could put either a C or a G, Casper or Gaspar. Again, sorry about that. Circle with a cross. Then you could put M or Melchior. Circle and cross. And Casper, Melchior, Baltasar. And circle and cross. And if we are in the let's say it's 2020, but you could put 19, but if you're 2020, then you would put a 20 right here. Okay, again, you could put this horizontal, vertical. Doesn't matter. I'm just showing you some simple outlines, what you can do. I'll show you a picture of the first one that I did right here somewhere. I'll put it right here so you can see the differences. Again, people will do it either on noon or midnight or when the sun rises or when sun sets. And you can use cascarilla, or you can use any ritual chalk, or you could just use, if you have children and they have a white chalk, you bless it. I'm going to show you how to bless and consecrate it. Very simple. You can use a white chalk. I use cascarilla because I always have cascarilla in the house. Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture of the other one again. And I'm going to do this tonight, midnight. This will bring blessings, abundance for the coming year. Very simple. Again, you could do it above the door. You can do it outside, inside. You could do it in the entranceway of the house and cover it with a carpet. I'm going to do one at 6 I'm going to do one at 6 just to show you when the sun starts setting. And then I'll probably do another one tonight at midnight just to show you different kinds of different ways to do it. And again, you could do it inside. So I'm going to show you inside, outside, and on top of the door and in the bottom. And this is just a simple sigil to bring blessings and abundance for the following year. So for my ritual of chalking the door, I'm going to start off by blessing my chalk. Now in this case, I'm using three cascarilla. Cascarilla is a ritual chalk that is used a lot in like the Santeria tradition, for a lot of their offerings and spiritual working. So you can use cascarilla, or you can use any chalk you choose, as long as it's white. And I'm going to bless it and consecrate it. I have three because three it's going to represent the three magi, Balthasar, Melchior, and Gaspar. So here they are, and I have with me some holy water. Okay, now you don't want to get these drenched. All you want is just a little bit. Okay, you're just going to take this holy water and pour it a little bit more than I wanted to, but just a little bit. Okay, and that should be fine, because now you're going to sit it by a window. Now you want to get this done before the New Year's, or a day before the New Year's. Okay, see, it's a little wet, but that's good. You want to get this done before the New Year, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the rest of this water before I go any further. I poured a little bit too much, but that should be fine. Actually, just sprinkle it on top. Make sure that I get some of this holy water on each of my cascarilla. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pray over la cascarilla. Again, you can use any chalk you want. It can be cascarilla. If you cannot get cascarilla, you could also just chalk, just as long as it's white chalk. So what I'm going to do is going to remove this water, excess water from this plate, and then do the prayer. So I changed the plate, make sure that there was no excess water, and you can see that the cascarilla is just a little bit wet. You don't want it drenched, remember. Now I'm going to pray over la cascarilla to bless them. You can use any prayer that you want in your tradition or in your rites. I'm going to use a traditional Christian prayer. If you're not comfortable with that, you don't have to use it. This is the one that I like to use. But here it is. And so what I'm going to do, some people like candles, incense, and no, you don't need all that, because it's going to go sit outside and it's going to get energized. It's going to get consecrated by the sun, the energy of the sun. So you don't need the candle or anything like that. Like a lot of people like to make simple things more difficult than what they really are. But now let me just breathe and then do the prayer. And it's a simple prayer. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and who made earth. The Lord be with you and with your spirit. Bless, O Lord God, this creature of chalk, to render it helpful unto all men. Grant that they who use it in faith and with it inscribe upon the entrance of their homes the names of thy holy saints, Gaspar, Melchior, and Balthasar, may through their merits and intercession enjoy health of body and protection of soul, through Christ our Lord. Amen. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amen. Now you can leave your cascarilla here, but I'm going to change it into just a clear glass plate, because I'm going to have it consecrated. You can leave it energized or consecrated by a window where an eastern sun rises, or outdoor where the noonday sun will consecrate it and will bless it. So I'm just going to change it into this glass plate right now that you see here. Now, ritual chalk or cascarilla, or just spiritual chalk, you can find it in all cultures. In every spiritual culture, Hinduism, Catholicism, you can find it in ancient paganism, in Africa. In all forms of spirituality, you will find them use ritual chalk to connect with the world of spirit, with the world of their ancestors, the dead, and one's saints or archangels, or in Santeria or in Voodoo would be the Loa or the Orisha. So what is a cascarilla or a ritual chalk? Well, they are known in Latin by the name of the Latin word as Memento Mori. Memento Mori is something that reminds us of death something that reminds us that we are alive today and we will die. It connects us into the world of the spirit. So it becomes an object that channels us, or a conduit that channels us into the world of spirit. So Memento Mori is an object serving as a warning of a reminder of death. And if you notice, cascarilla is usually the color of white, which is the color of our bones within our body. So in that, it's a Memento Mori. Other people know it as a Memento Homo. A Memento Homo, which literally means remember to all mankind that you are dust, and to dust you will return. Okay, so that was what it simply is, and it's a way that we contact the world of spirit. We interact with the world of spirit. We use it to inscribe symbols, to create doorways into the world of spirits. Pagans will create circles, not with cascarilla, but with their own form of ritual chalks. When I was in Venezuela, I saw that they use talcum powder, white talcum powder, to create their filmas to interact with the spirit. In Palo Mayombe, or in the Congo traditions, they use this to interact with their spirits. You will see this in Espiritismo. You will see this in Santeria, in Voodoo, or in Voodoo they use corn flour or rice powder. You will find this in Hinduism, in Catholicism. There is some form of ritual chalk or ritual powder, usually white or light in color, to make symbols so that one can interact with the world of spirit, or open doorways or passageways. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it outside by the noonday sun. So they could just consecrate it and get charged and blessed. You want to make sure that, these I buy in a big package, so you just never know who made them, and so you want to consecrate them. You want to charge them with your own energy. So now I'm just going to place them outside. The noonday sun is coming up right now, and I'm just going to place them outside so that it could absorb that energy of, so it could charge and remove any negative energy that I don't want it now that I blessed them. Okay, so here's my cascarilla. So it is noonday. So right now the sun is towards the south. The south is the energy of fire. So if you notice, I consecrated, blessed the cascarilla with holy water. That's why I don't need a candle, because now I'm using the energy of the sun, the fiery energy of noon, of Saint Michael. So I'm consecrating and blessing it by water and by fire, and I'm using the sun's energy to dry it up. Okay, and I'm just gonna leave it here for an hour. If you can't leave it outside, you can leave it by a windowsill. If you don't have an area where the sun will energize it, or it's too cold or too snowy, then again you could just light a candle and consecrate it that way. After you add the holy water, you can consecrate it with the energy of the sun. So now I'm just going to let it sit out here, dry. It's probably dry very quickly, and then I'll use it on my ritual of chalking the door. So I almost forgot about my cascarilla. It's been outside more than an hour, but that's okay. I'm just going to bring them inside, place them on my altar until it is time for my ritual. Now, all the elements are represented here. I just want to say real quickly that all the elements are represented here. The water that I sprinkled it, the holy water, of course, represents water. The sun represents the fire. Cascarilla represents the element of earth. And then the wind blowing outside, or the air, there you go, it represents the air. If you don't believe these outside, you want to keep it inside, then you can use incense or tobacco smoke to bless them. But all the elements are represented, and now I'm going to bring them inside and leave them in my altar until it's time for me to use them, which will be tonight. So this is when you walk into my house. This is the front of the house, and I have this cross that I change every Easter, and a picture of Saint Anne. So I'm going to do it in the back door of my house. But if you have a front door that's clean and empty, then you can do this. This all needs to be cleaned and changed anyways. Get some holy water. I'm cleaning this area because I haven't cleaned it in a while. But now I'm going to do the back door, but inside, because there's nothing on the back door. So here's the back entrance to my house, the doorway. Now I'm going to clean it down. You can use holy water, some holy water, or you can use whatever water you want. I'm going to use holy water, and I take a clean kitchen towel and just clean the area out. And then I'm going to take another dry towel and just dry it out. And now I'm going to write my sigil on my back door. You can do this in the front door if you want. Okay, so now that my door is clean and dry, I have my cacarilla. If you don't have cacarilla, you can use chalk, the way I showed you how to bless it. And what you're going to do, I'm just going to do the simple one. And I'm going to put the number 20 here, which represents 2000. Simple. Then I'm going to make the sign of the cross, like so. Then I'm going to put G for Gaspar, or you could put C for Casper, depending on what you call him. Like that. Then I'm going to put a cross right here. And then I'm going to put the M for Melchior. Okay. I'm going to put a cross. Then I'm going to put B for Balthasar. And then I'm going to put a cross. And then I'm going to put the year, it's 2019. If it's 2020, then you would put 20 here. And that is the sigil that I leave by my door. And then I do a prayer. I'll show you what prayer I'll do. That's what it looks like. Sorry about my handwriting. I'm going to show you how to do it outside. Okay, so I'm in the back of my house, and I'm going to show you another the simple one that you can do. You could put the numbers or wherever. I'm going to put C for Caspar, or G. Then you're going to put a cross. Then I'm going to put M for Melchior. And on top of that, I'm going to put a cross. Then I'm going to put a cross here. Then B for Balthasar. And that's one way of doing it. And then tonight I'll do my final one, which is in front of the house. Before I do the final part of the video, before I forget, you could add whatever prayer you choose. I'm going to add in the description the traditional prayer to the three magi that is used when dressing the door. You can use that prayer, or you can use whatever prayer you choose. Most people, if you have this book, La Fe en la Oración, Colección de Oraciones Escogida, which contains 154 oraciones auténticas. Now, if you have this book, it's in Spanish, you're going to look for Oración de la Puerta. Now, after you do the sigil over the door, you can pray this prayer, and I will leave this also in Spanish in the description. If you don't speak Spanish and you speak English, and you happen to have these two books, okay, which these two books are actually this book right here, okay, right here. What page is it? Right there. So you want the prayer of the door. You can see it right there. You can pray this, and that's in the pink book. And what page is this? 64. Yeah, it's page 64, which is this prayer. And then finally, or if you have this one right here, which is, I think, this is the second edition to this one. They have different prayers. This one right here. And what page is this? 101. And you can see, and I bookmarked it with some of my iron crosses. But prayer for behind the door. Now you can recite this, or you can say whatever prayer you want. Just wanted to make sure that, I added this to the video. So again, you can find these in this book, if you speak English, and if you speak Spanish. And they sell these in botanicas or, New Age shops or spiritual shops. La fe en la oración, colección de oraciones. This is the Spanish, and this is the English versions of this one. Okay, just wanted to add that before I finish. To end the video, I'm going to do, just to show you another way that I can do it. Last year, you can see I still have some less chalk. I did it in front of, on the top here. So, I'm just going to do it just to show you different ways that you can do it. So I'm going to put 20, 20 right here. Best way I can. 2 across. Let me bend down. C or G across. M on the cross. B for Baltasar. Across, and this year is going to be 2019. If you're watching this in the future, you could put a 20 here. I'm going to put 2019, and there it is. Okay, and I just leave it there. Some people leave it there. They do it on the night of January 5th, or January 5th, or the Epiphany, January 6th. They leave it there. They let nature wash it off. Mine last year, I washed off best I could during spring because I like to wash my doors. But there it is. Real simple sigil to bring blessings, to bring abundance, to bring luck, and to have the 3 Magi's bless you during the coming year. I'll leave some prayers in the description that you can use. If you do celebrate los Días de los Reyes, the 3 Magi's, I'll show a picture right here. If you celebrate the 3 Magi's, el Día de los Reyes, as we do in Puerto Rico, make sure that you leave under your bed a box full of hay and a bowl of water for the camels, and for the 3 camels, and of the 3 Magi's, and maybe they will bring you frankincense, myrrh, gold, or maybe a new shirt or a pair of shoes. So anyways, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Also, Feliz Navidad y próspero año lleno de felicidad. I hope you enjoy this video. This is Sancista Brujo Luis. Leave a comment down below. If you have not subscribed, subscribe, and I will be back shortly. Much love and much respects. This is Sancista Brujo Luis. Again, you can do it on the top of the door if you want to. Or if you want to, you can do it inside your door as well. Sancista Brujo Luis. Santo Sanse.